engines and everything, but is it as simple as just changing the tapered spacer, or do you? I mean, NASCAR tells us that there's a lot of other things that would change if you change the amount of horsepower. So I'm curious. I know that you have more insight maybe than other guys because of your family history or not.
Yeah, I mean, Uncle Ernie certainly talks about it all the time. I mean, I think, I do think it would make a really big difference for sure in the grand scheme of what the races might look like. I think anytime you introduce off-throttle time is probably a good thing for drivers having the ability to be different. I think the more we're pushed to the box of being the same, the harder it's going to be for guys to stand out or, drive from the back of the field to the front of the field. You kind of become tightened down to one, whatever the optimum line is. And when we're all kind of running the same throttle percentage all the time, it's difficult to branch out and make a wider radius work with more success or whatever. But, I don't work in the engine shop, but I do know just from what little bit of knowledge I have on engines is the way that we run these engines with, a tapered spacer is we're making them about as inefficient as you can possibly make them. These things unrestricted would have more power as they sit today. I think with that, you would certainly have to have different parts. I don't think those parts would cost any more than what they cost now if you bought the right ones to withstand that type of horsepower from a reliability standpoint. But I do know that we run them extremely inefficient with the spacer that we put on them.
Would you shift more or less?
I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I mean, the shifting thing has more to do with having 5 gears, I think, than it does the power we have.
And then just it would add tire wear with more horsepower, then would come more tire wear too, theoretically.
You would think. I've always kind of stood on the side of Goodyear's in a tough position over the years because they don't want to have tire failures at the racetrack, so I understand their side. And the teams push them to have to build a tough tire because we try to make the cars go as fast as we can. I think one thing that gets lost in translation a little bit in that is having a failure or a tire on the cords or whatever. It seems like we're really quick to make a change when if you kept going in that direction, I think the teams would naturally figure out what the limitations are themselves because we don't want to tear up cars or crash or whatever. So you just got to figure out what that box is that that a tire can live in, and I think the teams and drivers will figure out where that box is and kind of adjust from there. But we are really quick to make changes from that standpoint. But I do think Goodyear's in a really, really tough box to make a really durable tire that doesn't make them look bad and have it do all the things that NASCAR wants them to do. We've made the sidewall as small as we've ever had it before. The cars are heavier than they've ever been, so you're asking a lot out of them, in my opinion.
A few drivers talking about this weekend, how you kind of get an idea of where you stack up after this race weekend. Where do you guys feel right now in the number 19?
Well, I thought last week was a nice, solid step in the right direction. We had a good Saturday, which, I know Sunday didn't, go great, but a good Saturday is a better Saturday or one more good one than we've had in a while. So you have to take those gains and enjoy them and recognize that it was a small improvement that I thought was a big deal. I mean, we need to qualify well. We need to have good pit pick opportunities and really good week of preparation, and I thought that showed when we showed up for practice and then when we went to qualify, so that was really good. I thought we had okay pace there in the race on Sunday. Probably got caught out a little bit on getting stuck back in traffic with the way the strategy went, but overall pace I thought was an improvement, and certainly looking forward to this weekend, and I enjoy coming up here, so we'll see.